Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Just talked about how the George Pickens trade could affect the Chicago Bears here in the NFC, especially in that NFC wild card. Now I want to talk about an interesting take from one Dan Orlovsky, who makes the case for our own Colston Loveland to be the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. He says, let's go with the tight end winning this award for a second straight year. The middle of the field of play, and I'm assuming he meant picking a tight end to win the award, because if I'm not mistaken, Jaden Daniels won the award last season. So I'm assuming he meant picking the tight end to win the award. Excuse me. He said the middle of the field play and play action should be huge areas of attack for the Chicago Bears. Lovelin can replicate Sam Laporta's rookie year production, which Bears coach Ben Johnson played a big role in scheming up while in Detroit. And listen, do I think that Colston Loveland is going to be the end-all, be-all favorite to win this award? I don't, right? I think for Colston Loveland to win this award, and I appreciate Dan Orlovsky for, not just being the same and going, Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty probably is a shoe-in to win this award, because with Geno Smith there, they're going to be handing the football off to run it a ton. Cam Ward has a tougher situation with the offensive line that's in front of him. I do think that he's the best candidate. I always think that the number one quarterback is always going to be the best candidate to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. But, I mean, for him to even get into this conversation, I do think you have to look at Sam Laporta rookie year, right, where you're talking about 726 yards, 12 yards per reception, and 889 yards, 10 yards per reception, and 10 touchdowns on the season for him to win that. I just think that I do agree with Dan that the middle of this field is going to be massive for the Chicago Bears. And yards wise, I think that you're probably on par with that. Here's where I think it gets tough, and I've talked about this a couple of times. The touchdowns to me, I don't think are Colston Loveland's to go get. I think that there is not going to be this phasing out of Cole Kmet like many people believe in this offense. Cole Kmet is here. I think the Bears are going to try and use him. I think the Bears are going to focus on him as a weapon, especially around the end zone where, hey, I just need you to turn around, be a big body, have a basketball background, jump up and go get this football. I think that fits Cole Kmet more than it fits Colston Loveland. Now, again, I did say this with Shay on Monday, right, on the Chicago Bears podcast, where, it's kind of a 90s basketball analogy, right? All these guys are great shooters, and not to say they wouldn't be great in today's game, but you're taking 3 a game versus Stephen Curry, who's taking 15 and a quarter, right? Like the percentages are going to be a little bit off. So when I look at Colston Loveland's catch percentage, I do go, okay, not a ton of 50-50 balls for him to go up there and get, not a ton of contested catches for him to go up there and get. So, is his number a little bit lower because he didn't have as many opportunities because they're not throwing it up there like that at Michigan, which they just weren't. I do think that plays into it, but I think that's where Cole Kmet thrives in this offense. And I also think that's where Rome Odunze will thrive in this offense. I just see Colston Loveland as the yak guy, as the guy, the tight end in the slot, or maybe in line, I guess, if you want to do that. That is getting the yards, getting the ball in his hands, making big plays, fighting his way down the field. And then when we get to the end zone, he doesn't always get to reap the benefits. I could see him having 2 to 3 touchdowns in his rookie year. And for me, I think that's not going to put him in that rookie of the year range. I just think there's too many mouths to feed in the end zone, right? If I'm on the goal line and I've got Cole Kmet, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, I'm probably favoring those guys. And in the moments where I'm not favoring those guys, I'm turning around and I'm handing this freaking football off to Roshan Johnson to tell him to punch it in. Or if you're future projecting here, Kyle Monangai. That's right. 7th round pick Kyle Monangai. Can't wait to see what this young man has to do on tape and can do with the Chicago Bears backfield. By the way, I love how me being happy for once about a 7th round pick and being happy that Kyle Monangai is on the team has turned into, this is just more fuel for Pat's hate of running backs. I'm praising a running back. I don't hate a running back. I'm just excited that you got one of the best running backs in the Big Ten in the 7th round, and he should be able to play, and we should be able to go out there and win games. Anyway, I digress. But no, man, look, at the end of the day, I think here's the big thing for me with where the Bears are at right now, especially if Colston Loveland is going to win this award. I think that there's just so many mouths to feed on this team offensively. I'm not looking at Colston Loveland to be that guy around the end zone. I would think you're probably looking to Cole's way. You're probably looking other guys' way. Now, doesn't mean it can't be that way. And what we saw last season wasn't a fluke, right? I've often said there's a lot of times Cole's wide open and Caleb is not looking at him. Is that a scheme problem? Is that a coaching problem? Is that a Cole and Caleb problem? I don't believe it's a Cole and Caleb problem, but I also don't know everything that's happening behind closed doors in that building, right? So I think that if you started to see Colston Loveland not only get more of the targets his way, but also more of the touchdown attempts, trying to get him going in the end zone, I do think that you would probably end up sitting there going, oh, okay, well, that means that this is done. We are going to end up moving on from Cole Kmet, which may be something that happens anyway via trade post June 1. I'm not expecting it. I would think you want to run a ton of 12 personnel. I don't care that he's already paid. You got the 2 tight ends here. Use both of them. They're both talented tight ends. But like I get what some people are like, well, you gotta move on because he's got the 10 million on there, and you know, if you're gonna do it, you move on. Why not? You're saving him because Cole Kmet's a better player than the $10 million you're saving. That's really what it comes down to. Is it worth it to get rid of a player to save the money when I have that player on the team? By the way, the clearing cap space is always like to make room for either a future player to come in there and fit in perfectly, which I think you got a bunch of weapons on this team, especially with Luther Burden in there, or is it for you to add somebody in the middle of the season, which I don't expect the Bears to do that either. Like, I don't expect the Bears to have this uber active trade deadline yet again, because why? There's going to be things you need, but like, why? Now you literally are in we can draft to add this mode with all the weapons you have on this team. So I don't know. I don't see Colston Loveland being an offensive rookie of the year candidate at this point. But I would love to see that happen. I think there's a lot of interesting pieces of this article that I want to break down even further. But we got to go do some other shows today, and we got a lot of running around to do. But we will have a ton of content coming you guys' way. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Stay tapped in with us here on The Breeze, man. And of course, we'll be back later today with more content coming y'all way. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.
The best show for Chicago sports. Oh my God!